just to bring us completely up to speed with the situation in the camp with regards to COVID. Obviously, we were aware of two players that were tested positive, and then there was an isolation period. Has all that come to an end? Are you at the end of that cycle, as it were?
Yeah, we're pretty much there. One of the guys is still off, still not completely recovered, so we're looking after him. The rest joined back in training on Thursday, so we've had a couple of days to obviously have a look at them, get them up to speed. But I think I said it last week. The priority is to make sure that from a health perspective that they're actually safe and in a position to actually be able to go and play. So we've got them back. They've obviously had a couple of days training, but we need to still assess and see where people are at.
Isn't it interesting that, and I think Harry Darling said it's almost a new normal. It's part of life now, and that a couple of years ago nobody would even know what to do in this situation. They wouldn't know how to handle it, how to behave. And now football clubs like yourself, like MK Dons, can install a protocol, get on with it, and within 2 weeks, everyone's back to everything's back to normal. It's quite impressive how the world has changed.
Yeah, definitely, and I've said it a couple of times. Fair play to our media staff. I think they've been terrific in terms of the protocols that we followed to make sure that it was literally just the two guys, and obviously the ones that we isolated. So again, I think it potentially sometimes looks a little extreme, obviously the measures that you take, but actually when you think around protecting people's health and also getting back to where it's not in the camp, I think is obviously priority. So again, huge credit to them, them guys, what they've done, and obviously we're fortunate now in the position where actually hopefully it's done and it's out of camp. But again, it was just a little reminder, I think, for us and for everybody, how strict we have to be with the protocols, and how we have to continue following things to make sure that we look after each other.
And I guess a replay in the FA Cup not wholly ideal. I think Saturday, Tuesday now until I make it December the 11th. It's not ideal for you, is it?
No, I think two ways of looking at it, right? I think ultimately players love playing games, right? So I think you look at it from that perspective. There's huge opportunity to play games, to progress, and that's the thing. I think that just spoke to the guys around in the meeting actually is that the biggest challenge for us week to week is to show our improvement. So all the things that we're learning game to game, transfer into the next one, and I think the guys have done a really good job of that so far, and we'll continually evolve and continually progress. And it's great to have time in the grass training, but ultimately the test is then when you step on to the pitch to play a match to see that progress. And we've obviously now got a heavy period coming up where we can see that. Can we show the progress from the games so far and take that game to game and continue to build and improve our levels ultimately. So yeah, I think you miss out certain things from training, but I also think you learn a huge amount, and we can hopefully build some momentum in the games that we've got coming up. And it's another opportunity again, I think, where we'll need the squad. Where I think I had a look at it. I think it's 9 games in 28 days where we are going to need people to be ready to step in and take their opportunity when they get it.
I guess it's quite important to get a league win at home, isn't it? It's been a while just to settle everyone down. There's some cracking performances away from home at Wigan and Crewe, but just to get that home win, back for the fans at home, that's going to be useful for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think we obviously spoke about it earlier in the year, and the guys did a great job of it, of making this place a really difficult place to come. And definitely, I want this to be a place where as fantastic as the facility is. You want teams coming here, and rather than having a nice day out, they're leaving here going, wow, that was difficult. And I think that that'll be the challenge to the group tomorrow. Can we take a load of the good stuff that we've done for large periods in the game so far, and try and put on the complete performance. And I think that that's the exciting bit about the group. They have shown that they can learn and they can progress. And what we want to do is get back to putting on a really good performance and getting a good result at home tomorrow.
Cambridge promoted from League Two, but they've settled in very nicely into this division, haven't they?
Yeah, I think it's a really well-run club. If you look at how they got promoted, and how long they've spent a period of time building that, and backing Mark there, and I think they've done a terrific job at that. Obviously, so they've taken that momentum of winning games and doing well last year into the start of this season. So you have to give a huge amount of credit to them to adjust and to keep that culture and that winning momentum. And there'll be another really difficult game for us tomorrow.
Thanks, Liam. Appreciate it.
No problem.
We just spoke to Harry Darling. He said, said that the defence has been far too sloppy all season long. I mean, when you've got players like that giving quite strong opinions like that, it must be good for you to know that you've got guys in the dressing room who aren't willing to put up with some of the standards that we even consider might be quite solid and have looked quite good this season.
Yes, I think I said it from day one when I joined the club. I think we have got a group that, they're now transitioning from players with high potential into high performers, and I think that's the biggest thing for us is, we need to try and accelerate that and make sure that, that we raise the level, we raise the standard, and I think we have got a group of players that are hungry to learn, to improve, and it's finding the balance then of being tough and being critical, but at the same point, they've done a lot of good stuff. They've shown a lot of progress in a lot of areas. So I think it's great, and that's our job as a staff to find that right balance of driving that level of development and hunger to improve, which I think is paramount in our culture. We have to have that versus sometimes look at the good things that we've done. And I have to say we at times in tough games and at big moments we've defended really well. Wigan away, jump into mine. So I think it's rather than it being huge things, it's now fine tuning the smaller elements that will hopefully allow us to look more solid and stop conceding goals.
Sometimes the hardest bit though, isn't it, is those just final little tweaks.
Yeah, especially I think with our style as well. Do you know what I mean? I think it quite clear in terms of how we play and ultimately where we're vulnerable, etc. So I think that's the good thing. The players are aware of that now. The players are quite clear in terms of them key moments in games, and I think that some of that comes with experience. And I think we've had a lot of experiences where we've paid the price for not quite being right or making one or two errors. So I think when you look at it over the course of the year, if the guys continue progressing, they continue playing how they have played, they'll continue to get better, but they'll also keep winning football matches, which is what the guys want to do. I think that's the biggest thing, that the style is really important to us at the football club, but at the same point, so is winning football matches.
What have you made of Harry's contributions this season? He's backed himself a couple of goals. Obviously, there's clean sheets that you'd all like to see more regularly, but what do you rate his performances so far?
Yeah, I've been really pleased with Harry. I think he's one of many individuals that's shown a real progression, and again I think that I think there's been a slight shift in his head. I think if you'd ask him as well, I think a lot of the guys they're first like default to actually reflect on the game in terms of in possession, how many touches, how many passes, breaking lines, etc. But I think what's really important and what I think Harry and most of the back players have really bought into, and I'd say the team as well. I think when we defend as a team, which is really important to stress, is that when we reflect on a game, we have to also reflect on how we defend and how difficult we were to beat. And I think they're really buying into that and they really understand that. And it is it's important that we defend really well. And then we can also talk around the quality on the ball and the in possession stuff. So it's finding that right balance. But when I look at it, I think Harry's made strides in terms of so many areas of his game. His focus is getting better. His decision making is improving. And I think he's heading in the right direction. It's our job now to continually stretch him.